Jesselyn Asher. Miss Asher, good morning, ma'am. Miss Asher, you're here for first appearance, ma'am. You've been accused of 1 count of misuse of 911 and 1 count of resisting an officer without violence. Miss Asher, your supportive living coach is in the courtroom. She's here on your behalf. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, ma'am, and ask that you listen to your attorney, Mr. McDaniel.
Judge, I spoke to Miss Astor, for quite lengthy this morning. At this point in time, I'm just going to ask the court to consider some kind of conditional release, maybe. I don't want to, she is, she's got some serious issues, and I think she understands everything, but I think she had some valid defenses to the crime of the 911 call, so I'm going to talk to the state about it. I think there are some case law or some statutes that give exemptions when you call and to report drugs and stuff. I'm not quite sure, but she's got some, serious issues.
Okay, Ms. Asher, so there is probable cause for the charge, ma'am, of misuse of 911 and resisting without violence. That does not mean that you're guilty of a crime, ma'am. It means there's some evidence you may have committed the crime. Ms. Asher, do you live by yourself or you live with someone?
Yes, sir. I live by myself.
Okay. Ma'am, in the courtroom, do you have any additional information that may be helpful? Anything you want to tell me? Okay. Is she able to, the kind of rules she would have to follow on conditional release is reporting in once a week by phone. She could be drug tested. There's an allegation of methamphetamine use in this complaint. She could be drug tested. If she fails a drug test, she could go to jail with no bond. She can't not be charged with any crimes, so she can't miss any court dates. She has to pay a cost of supervision of $30 a month. Those are the normal conditional release conditions. Can she comply with those conditions in your opinion? Okay. So Ms. Asher, you have no prior history as far as I can tell, ma'am. I'm going to let you pick between a bond and a conditional release. If you'd like to post a bond, your bond will be $250 cash. If you'd like to accept the conditional release, I'm going to offer you a conditional release. If you prefer that, the conditional release does have more rules than a bond. Some people prefer a bond because it has fewer rules to follow. Some people prefer a conditional release. Ms. Asher, do you have any questions?
No.
And do you prefer to post the bond or would you rather accept the conditional release?
The best one.
Judge, is her coach, does she over her finances or someone else over her finances? I don't know how she's going to pay $30.
Her grandmother is over her finances. I'm willing to work with on the cost supervision. Possibly the drug use is what's concerning me. If she tests positive for methamphetamine 3 weeks from now, then if she's on conditional release, she's going to go to jail with no bond. So somebody's got to get her to understand the complaint. She tells the officer someone gave her methamphetamine and she took it, but she thought it had, what's the other substances? Fentanyl in it. So that's what she was upset about. So if she tests positive for methamphetamine a few weeks from now, then we got a big problem if she's on conditional release. I can't drug test her on bond. So that's her choice, ma'am. What I'm gonna do is ask her to talk to her supported living coach after first appearance and decide which one she wants. Let's let the jail know. So ma'am, if you want to talk to her after first appearance, we'll try to make that happen by phone or in person or however we can make it happen. And then y'all can decide which one you think's better for her. The conditional release has more rules to follow than a bond. The bond is easier than a conditional release from that perspective. I'm going to ask the jail to give her a notice for her next court date. When will that be, Dawn? October 2nd at 9 a.m. We'll give her that notice. That way she will not have to get anything to the mail. She'll already have the notice. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
No.
Right,
Than I want to go home.
We're going to try to make that happen today. Okay, ma'am? All right. Thank you. Ma'am, does she have the ability to post a $250 cash bond? That may be the better option. She don't have to report in weekly like she would on a conditional release, but that's entirely up to them. Okay. Mr. Gibson, would you mind talking to her about how we can get her to talk to Miss Asher? The downringer's not working, so we can try to set up by phone, or I don't know if this young lady wants to go to the jail to see her or whatever. Thank you. $125 each if there's 2 charges. All right. We've got an